Okay, I know, I have. Okay. We started already. Okay. I will open my script, and I hope you will enjoy this evening because I prepared it for this evening almost all week. So, welcome to the all listeners of our open session. Today is the topic of
Wow,
our
great atmosphere. Yeah.
yes. So yeah, it's this fire need for a second part, and okay, but it's already works. It already works. It's all I need for this. Okay, so let's start it again. So today the topic of our meeting is creepy stories. You might ask me, Yana, what the hell? The spooky season is over. Just accept it already and move on. But imagine that I put on my Nord glasses. Actually, actually, winter is better suited to creepy stories than autumn. Winter is very dangerous season in itself. It's dangerous to stay alone from the outsides. And since there is less to do in the winter, people often arranged various activities. First slide, please. In Ukraine, one of these activities is called вечорниці. Technically, uh, these are traditional evening parties. Young people rented a house. Most often it was a widow house. Next slide. Gathered in the window in the evening and had fun. They sang, danced, and played games. Young people tried to make each other laugh and sometimes tried to scare. Second slide. Types of entertainment depended on the holiday. For example, for the evening of St. Andrew, young girls gathered together and told fortunes. Next slide. Yes, I know this holiday is already past, but let's prepare it together that I do everything right. So, let's imagine that we are now gathered to a вечорниці. And to entertain each other, we share creepy stories. Yes, it was smooth transition to my story. So now you can put the video about this fireplace and this for atmosphere. Yeah. So before I go directly to the story, I need to show the context in which this event occurred. In the Ukrainian villages, there was one creepy tradition. Peasants did not bury dead children in the general cemetery along with adults. Very often, children were buried in gardens and country yards, and their parents planted flowers on their graves. This is for context. And this story, call it flowers. It was the story was told by my grandmother. It was spring. My grandmother was a child then. She woke up enjoying the spring warmth and decided that would be a great idea to collect flowers. She noticed that the most beautiful flowers grew on small mounds. She walked nonchalantly through these little mounds and picked flowers. And after that, she carried them home. She didn't sleep well that night. She got up to drink some water. When she looked casually out the window, she noticed a bunch of children looked at her from that side of the window. She called her mother, "Mom, who are these kids? Why are they standing there looking at me?" Mother came up and looked out of the window too. She turned to her daughter and said, "My child, but there is no one outside." My grandmother looked out to the window again, and really, there was no one there, only dawn twilight. How's the story? It's the end.
That's creepy.
Very creepy.
Yes. So I choose this topic like I want to pick up like one part of this traditional Ukrainian parties and one part to share these creepy stories because like winter is creepy actually, and it's one of my favorite stories, and my grandmother told me this story like it's absolutely true, and I have a theory. I was traumatized by that story. And because of this story, I have this like unhealthy obsession about ghosts, about mystery, about fantasy, and this type of the story. So yeah, it's a story about ghosts of the dead child who looked at her. It was like for real, and she told me the story was it was 90s. We didn't have electricity, so it was dark, and only candles we have. And we have the same atmosphere that we have now with our session, and it was impressive for me. So you can share your story too, and maybe you want to talk about the church more.
How old were you when you first heard the story?
Oh, like 6 or 5 years
Oh
old.
my goodness.
Yes, I told you I was traumatized in very young age. Yeah, I prepared not prepared. I remembered two stories, local legends. But it's in the case if you don't have your own stories, like. But I don't want to talk all evening today. I want to hear what you want to tell me today.
Would anyone else like to share a creepy story?
I can tell you about Mexico if you want. Okay. I don't know if it's possible for me to share the screen because this you have to see. Okay. Mexico City, the city where I am from, it's in a valley. And in this valley, okay, let me start sharing my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay. So in this valley, there's a place that is called Xochimilco. Xochimilco is basically a lagoon. It's very traditional. As you can see, we have these like boats where you can eat, you can listen to music. They are really beautiful because they are decorated with flowers. You can hear traditional Mexican music. You can go there. You can have like different parts. So basically what you do when you go there is you are like kind of navigating through these canals. Xochimilco is very famous because it has these canals where you plant like lots of crops, and this is ancient Aztec method of cultivation, growing things. But in Xochimilco, there is a place that it's called Isla de las Muñecas. Muñeca, it's like a doll, like the toy that the children play with. This place is famous because, as I said, this is a lagoon with many different canals, and this is an island. And this island, as you can see, is decorated, if you want to call it like that, with different dolls. Most of them have been like already thrown away because they are garbage and so on. The story says that in this canal, actually, as you can see, there's like a house and there's like a one of these, we call it chalupas in Spanish, this kind of boats. There lived a man, and this man began to see in the evenings a small child. He found like a small doll, and people from around told him that this small child had drowned many years ago. So he kept seeing the child, and in order like and he kept seeing it every day at night. So to try to pacify the child or this entity, he started collecting dolls. So this child could leave him alone, could play. The story doesn't say if this entity left him alone, but the thing is that his collection grew and grew. And if you go to this place, as you can see, there are many pictures, there are many dolls. Some say like the atmosphere is really creepy. But in the end, this place where he lived became a monument. This is his picture, as you can see. And he died, and he left this monument. So people are fond of urban legends, and they visit this place because they say it has like an atmosphere. Usually in school, if at least when I was in Mexico City, they take you like on excursion if you're a child, and sometimes the guides pass near this place, and it really has a different atmosphere. So this is some urban legend from Mexico City. La Isla de las Muñecas.
Awesome. It's so creepy.
Yes.
The dolls
And
are the creepiest.
yes, and I like how these two stories about ghosts of children. And like it's like we connected like one brain cell onto people.
Yes, in my country there are many of such legends. There are many. Some are more famous than others, but this is the legends. You hear them. Here, I was born and raised in Mexico City, but I live in another city now, which is called Guadalajara. And in the city, there is a tour that they organized. I've never been there, but it's a tour that takes you through the cemeteries and an ancient hospital that they had. And people pay to go through that tour, and they tell like some urban legends and stories and so on. This is here, but as I said, my city is Mexico City, so we have other things there. It depends. Like if you are fond of these legends and everything, I think that every place in the world where you are, you will find something like it.
Does anyone else want to share a story, or should we go to Jana's second one?
I have two of them.
I want to say that it is noticeable that Jana work with students because it's really great idea to prepare presentation and sketch our attention on stories with images It's really cool, you know. I think I wouldn't thought about it. You're good in your, I don't know in your work, or how to say
I
correctly.
very often hear this, like that that I am very gifted a teacher. Yes.
That's cool. It's really cool. All right. Let's go to another story then, Yana.
So me again. Yes. Like, okay, this story was, I didn't prepare. Like, for example, first story I write this written was written was written, and like I pick up like words for this, and this story was unprepared. It's around, so like one of them is connected to the with my village. Okay, we have a wood. You have a wood, like list, правильно, wood. Yes, we have forest. Like we have this forest near our village, and this forest called церковный лес. It's like churches forest. And there we have this local legend that this forest was planted by monks. And that's why it's called churches forest. And these monks was punished for some sins. We don't know what. And they church, which they have in this wood, in this forest, drowned in the swamp, like totally whole church, like underwater. And we have the swamp in this forest, and there is legend. So if you try to swim in the swamp, if you can actually find the cross on the upper part of this church. Like every church has this cross on the roof, and there are legends that you can find this cross in this swamp. So yeah, and for us, it's like actually weird when a cross is actually symbol of sanity, like saint. But in this situation, this cross is like something creepy and dangerous symbol. And we don't know why those monks was punished for what.
Creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. And we like this swamp is like when you enter this forest, like after few meters, you will see the swamp. And every time I was wondering what this special place, and someone told me the story. I don't know, everyone shy or what?
No one wants to follow your story.
Like, okay, I will tell the short story, and
I can interrupt you to make a mixture. I can tell not my story, not the story that anyone told me. Yet recently I watched this YouTuber that who tells about interesting places in Kiev, about some districts in Kiev, or about something peculiar, some peculiar places. And he told the story about Baikove Kladovishche, about the cemetery, almost geographically, almost in the center of Kiev. And the story was this. There was a watcher in that cemetery, and some looters came to the cemetery to have some goods from the graves, and he was trying to make them go, to push them away, but they locked him in the crypt. In the morning, when he was found, he was with all his hair white. What happened at the crypt, no one knows.
And he's not telling.
Yeah.
like Kyiv, like it's very a very special place for Ukrainian local legends. Like a lot of them connected with Kyiv, with Shikavitsa, with Lisa Hora. Or Lisa Hora is like one of the most mysterious places in Ukraine. Like it's place when all witches have their parties. Like this is witches
Covens.
parties. Covens, yes, covens. Yes, covens. Yes, and a lot of literature connected with these places in Kyiv. It was a loud sound. Okay. And for example, I don't know. I don't want to talk about Bulgakov now.
Don't.
We don't talk about him. But okay, we can talk about Holya. Yeah, so he used some of local legend in his short stories. Yeah. So I will tell you my last story, and this story is deeply connected with Ukrainian history. And because like when we talk about this topic about creepy stories in Twitter, we noticed that part of these creepy stories, like a whole blog, I don't know, it's about Second World War, and we have also this local legend in our village. We have like this. My village is on a bench of a river. Oh, Delicavite, can you please turn off your micro, because like you have sounds when other people talk. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So my village is located on the bench of this river, and we have in the deepest part of this river, and there are legends that on this part, on the dno,
Bottom.
on the bottom of this river, there are German tank, and the giant catfish lives there. And if you will swim under this place, this giant catfish will catch you and will drown you, and you will die. But like it's legend so stupid because actually catfishes are not hunting. They're not hunting. But we have this local legend that catfish can drown you if you will swim on under this place where this German tank located.
So does the catfish live in the German tank?
Yeah, because they eat it, German soldiers, and they grew up very big, and that a lot of people try to find this tank, but this legend still alive. And like we have fun when we were small, like some boys swim under the water and catch catch your leg. It was like so scary when underwater someone touch your leg, something touch your leg. So it was we have fun, but it was a scary type of fun. My grandfather was a fisherman, like, and rybak, yes,
Fisherman.
fishing, fisherman, yes. And like when I get up early morning, and once I got up and I saw the bucket, and in this bucket was like this big pike, and this pike just hypnotized me because her mouth was closed and opened, closed and opened, and you just have this um, desire to put your finger in this pike mouth. And but my mom stopped me because when she was child, she did it, and it was very problematic to take off the finger out of the mouth of the spike because their teeth they like turn it inside their mouth. So if you you stuck in the mouth, and like it's very painful, and but like this mouth will open it and close it, open it, close it. I just need to put my fingers in this mouth.
Like hypnotizing the fish. Yeah. Nastia has her hand up. Did you want to share a story or something?
Yes, we were talking about fish, and I remember one story. In my childhood, we often relax in near the water. It was sea and river, and every time my parents told me that I shouldn't swim away because we have such fish in Ukraine. It calls som. I googled and it translated me catfish. I don't know why. I don't know if it's right, but and every time my parents told me that these fish are very dangerous and they can suck small children under the water and eat them. And I remember that story all my life. And this year I saw video in the internet. We have a Chernobylska zone, and there aren't people, nobody lives there. And in that city there is a river, and there live very big fish, and our military they made a video from the bridge, and on the top of that river they were swimming that fish, that som, and I never see such a big fish, because they were, I don't know, maybe more than 3 meters, and it's my horror story.
Was it anywhere near the German tank?
Like we have a lot of legends about Chernobyl zone, and like this Chernobyl's catfishes, like one of them.
Yeah, but I know that that fish not so big only in Chernobyl zone, but in other river too. And after that story, because of my parents' story, I am afraid to swim in the river and in the sea too, because I'm afraid of sharks. And I can swim freely only in bathroom.
Okay, I can like help you, and you will swim in the water with catfishes, because catfishes, like this scavengers, падальники, they don't eat alive animals. So if you moving, it means that you are alive yet, and they will not eat you. Only if you died and will be on the bottom of the river, that in this case they will eat you. But till you moves, you not they are not interested in you.
Mm-hmm. They are waiting until pikes get you first.
Working together.
Awesome. How big are pikes?
Like meter and half.
Really? Mm.
Yes, like some of them is small, but the big one is meter and a half, and like we have one fish which pike cannot eat, because they have like this sharp part on their back,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a symbol, like if you small, but that's such dangerous can eat you. It's like very interesting story.
Mm.
Oh, I remember a story about witches.
Oh,
It will be second part.
I was just gonna
No,
say
it will be force. It will be force. My story.
Okay.
You see, I collected them. I collected this story.
I was just gonna
Speaking
say that
of
in Australia, everything wants to eat you.
like spiders.
Spiders, crocodiles, sharks, everything. I don't know why humans went there.
I don't know why people moved to Australia in the first place. There's so much danger there.
In New Zealand, mostly the weather will kill you. Not
And speaking of the creatures underwater, in Crimea, people believe that in Black Sea, it's not just a belief, it's for kids more, that there is a Leviathan in the bottom of Black Sea.
I need
Sorry.
to find a picture of the Black Sea Leviathan. Hold on.
I know only about Neptune.
in Mexico, we have the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. So the Pacific is like near, well, where we have the border with US, California. So what is California? In Mexico, we have Baja California, which is a beautiful place. But in this part of the sea, we have giant squids. So these squids can be up to 7 meters and can weigh like 45 kilos. We call them Humboldt squids. In the morning and in the day, they are deep in the ocean, like 2,000 meters. But at night, they go up. Oh wow! Wow,
That's what
it's
I found when
impressive.
I looked for Black Sea Leviathan.
Oh my God, it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's
Sorry
impressive.
to interrupt you, Rebecca.
It's
with my-
okay.
with
So
my
it's okay. No,
background
no,
in
I am like wow.
this.
So people say that these squids are very dangerous, the fishermen, because they are like cannibals. People say that when they have limited sources of food, they turn against each other. So imagine something that is like 7 meters length, and you are fishing that. So it's I don't know because I've never been there. I've seen documentaries about them, and they say they are really, really dangerous for the fishermen. Like if you fall and they are feeding because they are like in banks, they will finish you up. So I don't know if this is true, but I think that squids and octopus are one of the most interesting animal species, though this is my personal opinion. But yes, they change from colors because they use this to communicate. So they go from really dark red to white. And when you see them in the documentary, it's really amazing.
I like how for animals they just live in their lives, and people like oh.
Yes, this is from Asia. Let me search one from
It's from
Mexico.
Thailand. I can I recognize it. This letter. It's Thai.
I think this is
Like
this is a joke, but the Santa Monica Giga Squid.
no, it's definitely a joke. Like so like they just living their lives, and people like make this story about them, and and say like if they will know the stories, they will laugh. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I am looking at images, and they are like the size of a grown man,
Yeah.
actually. This Humboldt squids. Let me see if I can like share my screen for you guys. They call it Humboldt squids in Mexico, actually. Oh, sorry.
You go.
I will try to share. What can I share? Ah, here. So these are Humboldt squids. As you can see, they're the size of a man. These are like small. Yeah, these are not fully. Yes, these are not fully developed. These are not like grown-ups, but you can see the size.
Cannibal squid.
Yeah, yeah. They say they don't eat their own kind, like the same species, usually. But of course, if there is lack of food, they will turn against each other and eat the smaller ones, like the baby ones. I think they're really interesting animals.
the reason for legend about this kraken.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it's like related to them, but you know this really big oh, what's their name in English? Sperm whales.
Mm-hmm.
Like okay, so they're supposed to be the squids are the food of the sperm whale. So they say like when they got when they hunt sperm whales, or when they one of the sperm whales dies like in the beach because it got stuck or something, you will see on their skin like the scars from its fights with the squids. And also when scientists like dissect these whales in their stomachs, they will find the beaks of their squids, because they are the food of the sperm whales. So imagine the size of a sperm whale, and imagine something big enough to put up a fight and actually wound a sperm whale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought. Has anyone else got any stories? We need to wrap up soon.
I have another one.
Mhm.
Probably Jana will like it. In Mexico, there is one legend. It's called Llorona. Llorona means crying woman, and this is not just from Mexico. This is from Latin America, and it has like experienced several changes for the history. But the legend is like basically it's a woman. It's dressed in white, and it's called the crying woman because she actually weeps and cries at night, saying like, oh my children," in Spanish, of course, "ay mis hijos." And the legend says that in ancient times, this woman fell in love with someone from a superior economical status. When some people said this legend, like when Mexico was conquered by the Spanish, so this woman was supposed to be an indigenous woman who fell in love with a Spanish man. I don't know if the Spanish man was married or what happened, but actually he rejected the woman because the woman got pregnant, but he couldn't be with her for some reason. So as a revenge, the woman killed her child. And then by doing that, she was damned and she was cursed, and she became a spirit, and she wanders through the streets or in the late at night, screaming and weeping and saying, "Oh, my children." This is common in several, not only in Mexico. People said this, or when they tell this legend, they speak about different times, different places, but this is like this legend, the three elements: the woman dressing white, yelling, the water. And people say that if you listen to this, something bad will happen to you. Some people say that if you hear it like really, really close, it means that this entity is really, really far away from you. The worrying part is that if you hear it really far away, like with a small voice, it means it's near you. Actually, there's another song, a Mexican song, traditional Mexican song, not about this, but this traditional Mexican song is called La Llorona. It's a form of Mexican music that it's called a son. That's son in Spanish. So we have the legend, which I told you, and the song, La Llorona, and that's it.
There are some Mexican movies based on this legend.
Yes, there are Mexican movies based on this legend. There are famous actresses who interpreted these character, but these movies are old. I would say I've never watched them, but I would say like 60s, 70s, maybe. The golden age of Mexican cinema was, I believe, the 40s, 50s. We have like many famous artists then, lots of movies. But then after that, of course, there are some other less known movies. Some people during Dia de Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead festivity, they try to, if you're a woman, that you dress like this, or you dress like Katrina, which is like this skull. This, you have seen the pictures, maybe, this woman with their faces painted as skulls and crowned with flowers. This is Katrina.
Because it's Santa Muerte, but like all this.
Yeah.
It's used in Coco.
Yes, but Santa Muerte is something different. You have to understand, one thing is Llorona, which is this legend that I told you. Another thing is Katrina, which is like an elegant woman. This Katrina is more like in the movie Coco. It's elegant. It is like to joke about that. And another thing is Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte is in Catholic religion, you have many different saints. You have for Catholic people many different saints, and this is like Santa Muerte. It's like a religion which is different from Catholic. They take some elements of Catholicism, like the saints, but it's totally different approach. So these people who follow this religion, actually they worship death, and the death is shown like wrapped in a cloud, like the way Mexican saints or Catholic saints are wrapped. People say they call her also Niña Blanca, which means white girl. It's very popular among certain part of the population. I would say like people who are like in the narco culture or something like that. They say that I was reading that you can go to her, like worship her. She will never reject you. You can ask her whatever you want, but in exchange, she will ask something for you. And if you don't grant what you have offered, then you will have like terrible revenge. It's not like, for example, you say I'm Catholic and I go just to the church because of the parties, and no, this is different. This is like you are with her and you are with her forever. She will take care of you. It to me it sounds like a mafia. I'm sorry, but she will take care of you, and if you don't give her what you've promised, then something bad will happen to you, and it's different. They take many elements from Catholicism, but it's like I forget the word. It's like syncretization. Something I don't know if that word exists in English. Syncretization.
Like yes, it's like don't try to fool a death. Like
yes, don't try to fool her. It's well if you're in Mexico, you will see that the attitude to death is different than in other countries. It requires like long session to explain this, but you have to understand this difference.
I have a question. I have another question. Like again, you say Llorona, yes? Like
Llorona,
and you know, in this cartoon Coco, the woman sing a song, and she told about this story, and this is its story about this.
No, this song is from Mexican. In Mexico, we have like you have like I believe oblast, these regions, administrative regions. In Mexico, we have states. So this song is very famous. It's from the state of Oaxaca, and this song of Llorona is actually a man. Usually, women sing this song, but also man. It was a very famous Mexican composer. So he's singing to his beloved, like he's. I'm telling her like she was coming out of church and she saw sorry, and he saw her, and she's so beautiful that he believed she was the Virgin Mary. He asks her to cover him with her shawl. In Mexico, that's like rebozo. That's called rebozo. It's like a shawl, something that women used to wrap themselves with. So he asks her to cover her with her rebozo. He's thinking basically about his love for her. It's not the legend that I told you. So Llorona can be the song that we're talking about, or can be the legend that I told you. But in Spanish, the word for crying is llorar. This is the verb, llorar. So Llorona is a female person who is crying. Crying
woman.
Crying like I don't know how it's in Ukrainian, cry, like plach it.
Плакати. Вона it's плакальщи. For example, we can create this word like плакати, to cry, and a woman who cry, плакальщиця. Like for example, we can call
so this is the translation. Plakashitsa. This is Llorona.
Great.
Do we have any final stories? Okay, I just want to say thank you so much to Jana for preparing. It was really special. I hope everyone
I tried so hard.
That's great. I'll just do a little bit of editing to cut out our videos, to cut out our names, but otherwise I'll put this up on YouTube soon, maybe later today. But thank you so much. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing your stories. And what are we talking about next week, Jana?
Oh, it's definitely about Christmas.
Christmas. Oh yes, yeah.
Yes, Christmas, but we should to took one the smaller topic, like because Christmas is very big topic for one session, and maybe we will talk about, for example, about vertep. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we will we'll let you know ahead of time anyway, so you can share. Thank you so much to everyone for joining. It was lovely to see you all, and congratulations on the news today. That's really great. And yeah, thank you. I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much for putting this. Bye.
Yeah.
Together.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.